It was a challenge to try and capture something as iconic as Alcatraz.
You know about this. This is arguably the most famous prison in the world, and now you're in it.
Just the space, the physicality of it, because it's quite claustrophobic. When modern-day prisons are designed, they really consider not intimidating people or making the spaces, as least stressful as possible. Well, Alcatraz didn't suffer from those restrictions.
They did the research, they went out, studied Alcatraz, not just from books or internet. They were actually there to feel the environment, so it really sets a mood that gets you a little spooked.
Well, we kind of started with the base layout of Alcatraz. The entire island we ended up roughing out in kind of a white box form, and then figuring out what play spaces we wanted to use out of that, what would be the most interesting areas to play in, and the connections between spaces, and spaces that the public doesn't necessarily get to go into.
We really did a lot of...
Hey, Radaustin27 back here, and this just came out, and I've been working in the past 2 hours on this, so it's going to be a long breakdown, and I'm going to lose some sleep over this, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. Give me a like, whatever, just try and support. Maybe losing sleep tonight over this, but regardless, we're going to get right into this information that was just released on Xbox Live about the new Mob of the Dead map. We have a whole new heads-up display. As you can see, it's got a really different atmosphere. I'm not sure if it's so creepy, but there's a lot to take into account. And also you can see that blue, it's the new symbol for the afterlife. So maybe you can activate afterlife, or that's how many afterlives you have left. When you die, you have one afterlife left, and maybe there's a way to get more and more. Somehow, this is going to be incorporated into the Easter egg. You'll see more and more throughout this video. There's a lot of Mob of the Dead information, and this may be a new revolutionary map. Now, I just released a video about, we heard the sounds of the denizens of the forest, but so far, from this extensive trailer, there has been nothing about the denizens of the forest, which is really good news for us because they were absolutely horrific opponents. But let's get into it.
Pushing to really enhance that psychological horror aspect that we're really looking for. And this is a really good opportunity to really tell something special.
Now, this is really interesting, and I can't really tell off the moment exactly how this all unfolds. But I think two things are happening, and I'm going to try and explain it to you guys, but let me just get a freeze frame here. There's a new throwable weapon. It looks like a flaming tomahawk, and it returns. It takes place at the tactical. You'll see it in this video a couple times, and it explodes and causes this fire. Now, that's what you see happening when it's being like that handle of something coming back when the nuke comes closer when he blows up the zombies. It might have like a monkey bomb effect, maybe, that it huddles them up when it explodes, but I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like a really cool new feature. I'm excited for it. Juggernaut's here, and there's a key in the top left-hand corner. You're going to see that these things are, there's pickups of each of these actually inside this gameplay trailer. You see all kinds of these items that you need that are trying to build a flying machine to escape Alcatraz. Wow. We might actually be able to end a zombie map for the first time ever. Really neat idea. And of course, we have our Thompson gameplay. Doesn't look as effective as I wanted it to be, like the PPSH, but let's continue. We can now see a different item in the inventory in the top left hand corner. So this is another one. It also tells you, I forgot to mention, the heads-up display has the character you are. It actually tells you who you are, the nicknames, Weasel, Finn, whoever it is. So that's really cool, and because people are constantly like, am I Nick Toffin? Or I'm Nick Toffin, that's a new character. Am I Rick Toffin? Am I Nikolai in the past? And then they started switching up the colors too, randomizing it on Moon and such. So it kind of goes crazy. You can see one person's down, and another person seems to be in the afterlife mode. You can see the blue heads-up display on there with the marker. And also I want to point out that hold X to use the gondola. So there's a zipline gondola in here. This might be what we saw in the trailer earlier that I just posted a video about, where it closes off the zombies and it looked like it went up or down. It actually goes vertically, as you'll see in a second here, but another cool addition to this map.
Like I got stuck right through the gates to hell!
This time around, I feel like it's been identified that there are these side missions that you're going to go out and try to accomplish. Al and the rest.
I'm going to be freezing these a bunch. These might be huge for the Easter eggs. Maybe they're not important at all. But there's a lot of stuff we can talk about here. And the scribbles are back. It really adds to the creepiness of the story of these people that are dead and been writing about this stuff. Escape plan. Step 1, find the warden's key. That's what we keep seeing. Step 2, get the plane parts. So you get the parts to build the plane. Step 3, build the plane on the roof. So you got to get to the roof. Step 4, get off the island. So that's our objectives for this brand new Alcatraz mode, to get off got to find portals. So there's only certain places that you can go while you're dead. You're in the afterlife mode. The symbol I can't get out of my head, that is the afterlife symbol. And you get strength, you get electricity powers, and there's a time limit on how long you're in this. You could see it sooner or later there's going to be a thing where you start off dead in the afterlife and it drains really quick. But other times it's pretty darn long, and so you can explore and stuff. You can power all these different generators that you'll see around the map, and that probably adds to opening up the warden's office or opening up the other places, maybe the roof, so on and so forth.
The groups put together this escape plan.
So another look at more of the scribbles on the page here. You can see one of the voltmeters on here that we're going to actually be powering up, and you get like Cole McGrath electricity powers, shock powers, whatever you want to call it, and you can actually zap stuff, and you can kill zombies, you see later on too in a freeze frame. You're getting some more scribbles, not sure. See, that jail cell might actually be what the picture from Ascension was hinting at. Maybe they finally found a way to play it off, so that's really, really cool that we're finally getting like, oh, that's what it meant from Ascension. Maybe they're going to make a connection with the Ascension map too, even though this is a prequel before Ascension ever happened, and then we're going to get into the pictures of the next page.
But the point is to get the parts and assemble this plane.
The next page here is really interesting. It's showing us the plane that we're trying to build, the different parts, some parts that did or didn't work. Looks like there is one of the towers going to be important, one of the watchtowers. Maybe there's parts located there. You can see maybe those are all the parts on the right side that it takes to build it. Lots of notes, so maybe we'll be referencing this. Maybe this will be in the trailer. Maybe there's some other place we'll be able to find this. You can see a cat has 9 lives, kind of explaining more of this whole afterlife idea mentality, how it can power the boxes when you die. So it actually keeps you involved in the game almost all the time. But once you run out of afterlives, it's probably back to the same old stuff. So it's just really cool, and you guys can pause the video all you want and look at the different scribbles on the pages now.
So they can get off the island.
We did something new for the first time. We have actually contextual music that goes off. So that's a first for zombies. And it's all based around this horror thriller aspect.
Every location will have a specific stinger that you hear when you find it, when you discover it, when you start unraveling the story, we start building on the music that you're hearing, and it's really enhancing that experience and going along with it in parallel.
So this was just a really, really creepy picture. I mean, it has all electric chairs on a bridge that looks like it leads to the Golden Gate Bridge. No one leaves Alcatraz alive, or no one escapes alive is the sign, but you know what I'm saying here. They have all these people being hung, all these weird, like, worship candle things that you see constantly around Alcatraz. Honestly, this is what we want. This is the creepy, awesome map that we've been waiting for so long, and we've been getting away from this into this cartoon version of zombies that is kid friendly, so I guess they're going towards some kind of demographic. Who knows? So this next picture here is really interesting. There's the new tactical. At first when I saw this, I'm like, what is this? And reviewing all the images. Finally, on the way left, he's holding that new fire axe that we're going to see. There is a new perk. It's a cherry something volts. We'll see. They'll talk about it. Don't worry about that. And the new wonder weapon is like this blunderbuss, Gallic guns, shotgun, yeah, that they explain later on as well. And the Tommy gun, and we have our ray gun as well. So a lot of new stuff in this shot. I mean, this is pretty much all the cool guns we're gonna, and a new perk. Really interesting, and they just give it to us right off the bat. And we're so far away. This is more information than we've ever had about maps.
Because we wanted to embrace this kind of horror thriller element, we wanted character actors, guys who could really embody someone and then convey emotion. So that's why we went for guys like Ray Liotta, getting in that kind of guy. You know, we wanted a frantic nature. So he plays a character called Billy Handsome, who's this kind of psychopath who would be employed by the mob to
I want to point out a beloved gun waited to be in zombies forever, and that is not the AK-47U. I remember in Shangri-La I made the mistake when I thought it was the AK-47, and this time it is. It is officially the AK-47 seems to be making a return, and this Pack-a-Punch version seems to be Reznov's Revenge. So that's really interesting that that'd be the name. I don't know if it actually has pertained to a story in any way. And again, the guys who worked on the campaign story are actually working on this Alcatraz map, so maybe they're going to try and find a way to incorporate the whole amazing Reznov story and storyline into zombies. I know people in the forums have been calling for it, and people, and Treyarch listens to the forums, even though I don't know how they could possibly include Reznov. They'll find a way.
Kill people in interesting ways. Chaz Palminteri, he plays a guy called Sal DeLuca, an old mob boss. Michael Madsen playing Finn O'Leary. He's kind of worked himself.
More looks here at the scribbles that are going to be throughout Alcatraz. There's just so many. The zombies have this all kinds of like barbed wire and spikes coming out of them. Very interesting. You can see the weasel back there messing people up with the Tommy gun, or the zombies. And you're going to hear the demonic voice announcer in this is back to the Radaustin27 before like Sam was going crazy. So maybe this is how they're going to play it off. That Radaustin27 itself was still with this type of zombies, this original demonic voice. I want to bring up that she has a quote in the pyramid that with Rick Toffin says something far worse than you can ever imagine lies in here, or something along those lines. You can check that video out. Maybe I'll annotate it some year from now about that whole situation. I made a whole video about, you know, what's this demon inside the pyramid besides Sam before Rick Toffin got in, and they might be answering it with this map. So really cool stuff unfolding.
From the floor, you know, from the streets. He's got his hands dirty and the blood and the guts a couple of times. And then we had Joe Pantoliano, and he plays Arthur Arlington, who's nicknamed the Weasel.
Those guys, they bring a quality and a subtlety and timing that you can't really identify or try to recreate.
Another shot at the AK-47, used by a different character in a different room. You guys might be able to pick something else up in the room, but it looks like, you know, yeah, cool. AK-47, not a mistake. It's definitely in here, and it's not just cinematic, so I hope anyway. Actually, no, there is gameplay in here, so it's not just cinematic, so it's great to see the AK-47. So here we go, more Thompson gameplay, and now you can see in the tactical slot this explosive axe that I'm talking about, and this might be actually prior to that first scene. You see him throwing the axe and then getting the nuke and coming towards him. One of the other multiplayer guys back there, we're on the docks. We start inside, so I think we work our way outside to the docks and then try and get to the roof. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge way in the background, I would assume, as we swing around the corner. It's behind, like to the right side from the images I've seen. He has one afterlife left, it looks like. And it's just cool. The numbers are this nice, the zombie text that we've seen from like the zombie album. It's a good change of pace. It's still got the similar things, and of course the key and the heads-up display again. So I want to point out the new perk and the axe in action here. You can see it in slow motion actually being thrown, and when you reload, the electric cherry goes off. And so that's how it works. It's kind of cool how you can see this interact and destroy zombies the way it does. Just a quickie here, there's many traps that are going to be in here. One of them is a fan trap, and you'll see it used in just a second. Here we have our new like boss zombie. He seems similar to the Napalm and Shrieker from what it looks like in damage. We have our new upgraded shotgun here. It seems to fire really quick. I'll show you why that is, and the ammo seems to go by super fast, but it seems to take out the zombies pretty easily. And this guy goes around messing up the box, messing up the speed cola, all the different, in this video the speed cola, but all the perks. And he changes your gameplay, so it makes him a priority to take out, but not completely necessary to take out. Then you actually have to buy the perks, it sounded like, back. I'm not sure if that's 100%. It's just how I thought I heard it, that like once he messes up a perk, then you got to buy maybe like 3,000 for the perk and to get it normal again, and then buy it again. You'll see what he does to it later on. I got some slow-mo pictures of it, but it's just really interesting to add this in. He reminds me of the guys that are from the that fall in Dead Ops Arcade. All the Dead Ops Arcade maps seem to be coming to life. If I haven't said this enough in my videos, it keeps happening over and over again. And these are the guys that would run at you with a wrench. Now it kind of seems like this same type of zombies coming at you. Not the same look. They gave it a renovation or a facelift, but maybe there might be a different zombie in here too that might resemble it from Dead Ops Arcade that I'm forgetting about. Tell me if you remember in the comments below. Just a good look at him. You'll get a closer look later on. You can see how they kind of shoots like needles or injections out of this gun. And again, heads-up display, I want to keep pointing out there's a key in the top right corner. And that was the first step as mentioned earlier. So maybe our Easter egg is a little more obvious. Or maybe this is just one of the many side quests that we have. And there could be a completely separate Easter egg to be done. So here we finally get our explanation for how the dogs work. These demonic heads come out of nowhere. Well, not complete explanation, but apparently they're going to come out of certain areas, and they will actually feast and eat on zombies. And Ben has said stuff to the degree that, like, once you feed enough of them, They might help you in some way. I don't remember the exact words Charlie said in his breakdown video. You guys can go check that out and play the game. But they're going to take out the zombies. They're going to eat them, and it's kind of another form of a trap. I like the amount of traps that have been incorporated into this map to really make it a, we've been missing them. We haven't had them in so long. I have no idea why it was such a big deal. I think Ascension might have been the last time we had a really, just a fire trap. Call the Dead, Moon, and so on and so forth. We haven't had traps in a long time.
You start off in the afterlife mode, and that's just going to be what's going on.
Now we're getting into afterlife mode. This is one of the afterlife modes when it first starts. You can see how quick it's depleting. You'll see again when it plays. And it seems like your characters, depending on how many you spawn in, are just sitting here in the center right before things go down. Apparently you just died, or you're coming back to your body in some apparition form, and then the game's going to start in the center of this jail cell. This is how it seems like it's going to start. This is going to be the starting room.
You're going to try to solve the mystery from the second you start.
Afterlife, to me, brings a new element, like a new puzzle element. It forces me.
So you seem to move really fast in this apparition mode, so you'll be able to get places where you need to go. I want to point out that green light, it might just be the lighting of a lamp, just altered, but we're going to have to keep a keen eye out to look for these things that are so in our face, like they'll be glowing objects, and there might be not so obvious things. There's portals we're going to have to go through and solve puzzles, as they put it in this trailer, that are going to help us accomplish our goals.
To think a little bit more, or look for the clues, or
now, just more scribbles on the wall. It looks like a barrier, ton of skull heads, and I don't know if that's like a turned over casket or just an altar or something else completely different and unrelated. But you got the candles, you got the creep factors going. It definitely seems like one of those crazy places you'd be in Skyrim, not in Call of Duty Zombies, and I like it. I love it.
Or kind of think of zombies on slightly deeper level.
Here I wanted to point out that you can actually destroy zombies using your lightning powers, save your friends, and maybe if you get back to your body in this mode, that's how you just can come back, revive yourself, rather than kind of like a who's who type deal, or you bleed out and then you go to the normal, like, you'll spawn next round. So that might be how it works, and there's also one of those electrical panels in the background that he might actually light up as well, so just wanted to point those out.
You see clues throughout the map that tell you, ooh, perhaps if I'm in the afterlife, I can interact with this object, or there's some puzzle.
And here again, going through one of the portals to power one of the generators that might open a new area, might help us get off the island. We'll have to see how it goes, but it seems pretty straightforward, pretty obvious for you guys, so there's no reason to harp on it too much.
Puzzle going on here that I need to be in the afterlife.
Here's the Reznov Revenge Pack-a-Punch AK-47. The new camo is just crazy. If there is a Pack-a-Punch, it might be a completely different machine. We don't know. Kind of like devil script on it. This is just a really new take, and I like it. We have an acid trap. You'll see it in use here. There was a blade trap. So we got all kinds of traps. Once again, take note in his inventory, the tactical, where monkey bombs would be, is one of those throwing axes. I don't know if you only get one. I haven't seen more than one. They might get 2 or 3 of those, so really cool.
I whacked a dirty dentist with one.
And there's the acid trap in use, and some more stuff on the right side. Maybe you guys can pick up more than I can. But you can see, I mean, these traps can be very useful for taking out trains and stuff. If you're out of ammo and, on Die Rise and your Sliquifier runs out of ammo on round 76 and you have nowhere to go and you have tons of points, this might actually be useful. Here's that trap we activated earlier, the blade track, and looks like another power station on our left, or maybe some other type of item, but there it is working again, and it says power found on lower ground, so that's probably why we're going out to the docks to begin with, so the power's outside, and then we're going to come back around and try and work our way to the roof and the warden's office and so on and so forth.
Took forever.
Alctraz has a Civil War kind of fort background before it turned into a penitentiary. And so we had this kind of backstory, the idea that the warden would have collected Civil War weaponry.
Here's a nice look of the rendered model. It kind of looks like there's some kind of animal, maybe dog, wolf, like hellhound, rat thing. I don't know. You can see on the handle there, and this is their new made-up weapon, the shotgun that just wrecks house. And it seems fun to enjoy. Might be able to mess around a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be that impactful like this Liquefier was in the previous map. here we get a look of it. It's ammo, and it's got about 19 rounds at this point. One shot takes out 4 zombies, as you can tell with the 4 barrels. They probably set this up perfectly, so you get to work out that way. I'm sure it won't always be so good. And I like the gold and the camo on it. I like, you know, you have some eye candy in this game after the same dull gray colors you see all the time in zombies. I enjoy the fact that we actually have some shiny guns that we can have fun with.
One of them is a Blundergat. It's a fictional.
It looks to be like one of the catwalk areas. How are we going to get up? You see the stairs that will lead up to the right side. Not so much the gun I was looking at here, as more of just an open area and what's going on the dock. So you guys can look around if you see anything in particular. I'm going to miss things. I'm going to miss plenty of things. Tell me in the comments below. I mean, this was a long look, and I'm 20 minutes into this breakdown. I guarantee there's stuff I'm going to miss. That's why we have so many people on the internet to point this out, but there's just so much information they gave us.
Weapon, but the idea of the combination between a blunderbuss and a Gatling gun, and possibly there might be a way of upgrading it to a more fantastical weapon that the players may find.
So here's a look at the gun, and look how fast it goes through these last 3 rounds to really get you out of your weapons. You have nothing more, and it goes to your M14. You can see it doesn't look like there's a 3rd weapon there for some reason. You can see how it goes through, but now it's fine. And it just takes them out, shoots the needles. It's really cool, and this is the pack-a-punch version of it, or the upgraded version, which is neat to have. And we're going to get another look at our friend here. This is what I think he does to the machines. He messes them up. You can see how the pauses and speed color is still viable, but it's got this weird faint look to it, maybe a rip in time, kind of a Bioshock feel. Bioshock Infinite with the tears, which is like, whoa, geez, this game just came out. You can't be ripping off Bioshock Infinite that quick, but I doubt it. So let's continue.
Perk machine.
Another look at our guy. I mean, he looks badass and fun to be taken down, and should be a fun challenge, and we should be able to enjoy ourselves playing this game. And again, key in the heads-up display. I'm just going to keep pointing that out because it's a completely new aspect to see us using these things and showing up in our heads-up display in that area.
Close down the box.
Now you see him at the machine, and it seems like he's messing up the machine right there, and it seems like that's already been powered, by the way. Maybe that's how you turn on the power. Either you hit a switch, or you have to go into the afterlife and power the switches next to the machines to turn the machines on. That's a possibility. It kind of puts like a fire around it. You'll see that you can't like purchase it, or maybe you hurt yourself when you purchase Speed Cola, but it's putting it in this weird alternate universe type look. Just another look of it going all white and pale and crazy.
So you have to pay to get that open again. So you don't want him to interfere with your process.
Now's a good time to pick a fight.
All right, so now I'm not sure exactly what causes him to blow up here, whether it's the shotgun or his teammate helping him out, but I just wanted to point it out and let you guys see. Because you'll see in a second, he'll walk in the room and maybe he threw the axe or whatnot. Or he just explodes with fire every time he dies.
It's a fun challenge. It keeps things moving forward.
In terms of perks, we have
Just a little look at the new perk here, and we're going to get a closer look in just a second.
a new perk called Electric Cherry.
There's a cool little detail for the Electric Cherry. You can actually see like a skull inside with all the different perk piles and like the Bloody Grim Reaper on the machine that everyone seems to think is some gigantic secret that Treyarch keeps putting everywhere. So just, you know, cool look. So we'll just go through the end here, and you'll see how the Electric Cherry works, reloading, and put out pulses and kill people. We can see the key just went up on the heads-up display as well. So it's cool, you know, how that works out, and it's solid. And you can see, I don't know if it's flames are not going through, and we can also see green, so maybe perma perks would still be in here. But, you know, really cool gun to see going on. Again, one in the heads-up display, lots of killing going on. Trap is right there. I don't know if it's cooling down or already been... or the power needs to be activated. Probably wouldn't be glowing if the power needed to be activated. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff happening in really quick short bursts that a lot of people are going to miss without these like slow down programs, editing programs. Tell me if I missed anything in the comments below, anything big that I might have overlooked that'll be on other people's videos. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe for more Black Ops 2 zombie news and information. Leave a rating if you did enjoy. There's just a lot of cool stuff now. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention right here that the new the buildables back with that. And the, zombie shield, so that's cool to see. But anyway, minute details. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later. I hope you did enjoy this, and subscribe for more. I mean, why not? It's free.
We've got the undead in there, we've got these historical elements, and these fantastic actors all seem to be with peace with each other in this kind of same world. So it's magical, and our team is incredibly excited by it.